Let's go to Ben Domensino now. And Ben, data released by NASA over the weekend revealed a new global heat record was broken in February. What are the details of that?
Well, Laura, that has really been the big news this week. Coming out of NASA in America, we've had some temperature data released from February. So the entire month of February, looking at the global surface temperature, taking into account land temperatures and ocean temperatures, they've actually come in at about 1.35 degrees above the long-term average. And that's for the industrial era. When we compare that to the pre-industrial era, it's actually 1.5 degrees above average. Now, the reason this is concerning, this is the biggest anomaly. So this is the biggest difference to the average temperatures we've ever seen for any calendar month on record, and this is joining in with January, which was the previous record. The graphic up on screen now shows those surface temperatures around the world, and where you've got that dark red shading over the north of the world, you've actually got temperatures about 4 degrees warmer than they should be, and there's lots of red. So that really is just continuing on what we've been seeing really over the past few years, is that we're starting to break all of these heat records. And of course this leads to bigger questions of global warming and things like that, but we already are starting to see some impacts of a warming globe right here in Australia.
So what does it mean for Australia though?
Well, there's a very difficult line to draw when you're trying to connect global warming with weather events, and that's because they operate on a different scale. So climate operates on a much longer time scale and a much bigger spatial scale, but people feel the weather, they don't generally feel the climate. Weather is what you get, the climate is what you expect to get. But here in Australia, it's very difficult to ignore that we are looking at a number of heat records being broken, and in fact most of the records that are being broken are in some way related to heat, whether it's to direct temperatures or severe weather events. Just recently in 2016, Canberra has recorded 10 consecutive days over 30 degrees so far this month. That is a new record for autumn. Sydney has had 39 days over 26 degrees, which doubles the last record set, which was 19 days. 2 weeks ago, Australia notched up its hottest March day on record. Now, of course, we can't attribute any one of these individual weather events to warming temperatures around the globe, but it is, I think, very difficult to notice some sort of a nexus between the global temperatures that are rising and the extreme weather events that we're starting to see around Australia. And looking at the outlook for the rest of the season, it does look like we will continue to see these warm temperature records being broken in parts of Australia. And another one that's just come through this week is severe bleaching of the coral reef in Queensland. So we are starting to see the global warming having some sort of an impact on the weather that we see each day here in Australia. Now, I'm a meteorologist, not a climatologist, but it is a little bit worrying from my perspective that we are starting to see some of these records tumbling the way that they are.
Yeah, Ben Domensino, every time we speak to you, it seems like a new record has been broken, whether it be a cold or a hot one. Our Sky News weather meteorologist, Ben Domensino, thanks so much for your time. And tomorrow we'll be speaking to the Iranian Foreign Minister.